Hello. Hello, everyone. We are here with our next round of our Tier 2 Can-Am season. We have got Las Vegas here tonight with 17 drivers on the grid, and I believe a couple of reserves as well within this grid tonight. For one definite one I can see is McLeod here, replacing Alex in the Sauber. I believe the Ferrari double check this. So yeah, the Ferrari here of I'm just gonna go with Kubert, is in for Ninja, and we've also got Shifty in reserving for Mr. G tonight as well. So a few, one new driver on the grid for definite, and a few drivers that we've seen in previous seasons now taking up a reserve role for the season. So a few drivers, as we see here on our minimap, out on their fast laps. A few on, well, the majority all on the soft tyres, with the driver here we see on board of NASCAR on the medium tyre for his first run in the session. So NASCAR going well in his first lineup of the session at the minute. Looking to go purple in the sector 2 as well, just as we come towards the end of it now. He is looking strong. It is a 57-1 so far so far on this run. He is on the medium tyre, so he could well be going for another lap after this. We'll see how he does coming up to the final couple of corners. There we go, Jensen with the first lap time of the session with a 31.5. EA coming through with a 32.4. Clint with a 31.5 as well, just a little bit quicker than Jensen. EA popping in there. NASCAR popping in at 5th. McLeod in the Sauber, currently 4th position. Plenty of drivers on their way through now. Edgar with a 33-1 in 6th position at the minute. We've got one McLaren on their way through to the finish line now. Will with a 5th place grid penalty for the race. McCoy goes 6th so far with a 32.6. Let's jump on board a few of these other drivers. Adam and Pizza in the 2 Mercedes there. Adam closest to finishing his lap. Across the line, a little bit wide on the exit of the final corner, goes across with a 35.1. Had a bit of a moment in that final part of the track, but again, 12.5 to go, plenty of time to set another lap there for pizza in the Mercedes. We've got Logan here at the minute. Fairly decent first sector so far. And oh, I've pressed the wrong button. There we go. So yeah, Logan on midway through this second sector at the minute, taking that corner nicely, taking enough of the curb as well, and going down towards the final part of this lap now. Gets a bit of tow from the Haas ahead of him. DRS open down towards the final 3 corners we go. How well will the McLaren driver take these? Straight over the curves like they're not there for that second one. Takes the first one with a little bit of caution, heading down to the main final. You absolute melon race. You absolute. I'm not even going to say anything on that. I'm glad I noticed that now. Oh. Let's not even go there. What an absolute. It's taken me 7 minutes to realise that I hadn't swapped it over. What an absolute donkey. Right, let's redo this and go again. I can't believe that. Alright, so we've got Clinton first so far with a benchmark of 31.5. Jensen in the Haas on a 31.5 as well, just a little bit behind the Williams ahead of him. We've got McLeod here in third place at 32.0, looking fairly good on his Can-Am Sauber debut, at least for tier 2. Not sure if he's been anywhere else in the league before, but fairly good pace so far. Just a bit behind the leading 2 cars. Has done 3 laps on them soft tires, so taking it a little bit easy at the moment. Exception in 4th place at the minute as well, on a 32.0, milliseconds behind McLeod, and looking strong in this session. Jay as well, just milliseconds again behind Exception in Jay in 5th place, Exception in 4th place. Jay going for another lap by the looks of this, so making the most out of what he can. Potentially, I've thrown myself off. Sorry about that. Let's recover what we can from this. So Jay, as we saw on his flying lap just then, gaining just over 2 temps, going from 6th to 4th on this provisional grid so far. We have got just under 8 minutes to go. Will, with a 5-place grid penalty for himself there, so that will take him down to roughly 15th at the moment. We've got McLeod there in 6th place, Exception in 7th, NASCAR in 8th. Mike has jumped up into 5th place there, so looking good for, oh dearie me, what the blimmin' heck happened there between the Racing Bull and the Mercedes. I'm not sure, I believe that was Peter. I think he's just trying to get out of the way and it's not quite paid off for him there. Unfortunate for both drivers involved. McCoy currently jumping in to P7. He's got his teammate behind, giving him a nice tow down into turn 4, I believe this is now. DRS open for Logan behind, looking pretty good through the first sector there. 2.5 temps up. We'll jump back on board there, them two drivers in a moment. See where NASCAR is at the minute. He is pretty sure he's quite far down on his time at the moment. And moving on from that, I've got no words. So Logan still getting a huge show from his teammate there, heading down to the last couple of corners. How much time will this have helped the two McLaren drivers? Down to the final corner we go. Overtake is on for this McLaren driver, 33.3 so far, up into the 32.9s, 5 temps almost up on his time. 32.9 brings him in to contention for a potential top 10 start in this race, but there is only 3.5 minutes of the session to go. I'm not sure Logan is going to get back round again for another, definitely won't get round for any more laps in this session. We'll go on board one of the reserve drivers here of Kabar, see how his flying lap will be very, very soon. So a few drivers now on their final flying laps of the session. We are watching Shifty here in the Racing Bull at the moment. We've also got Kubert on his final flying lap of the session. A fair few drivers still yet to start any more laps in qualifying. We've got plenty of drivers out on track, roughly 5 or 6 still in the pits, with more to with a few more cars to go in from their final laps, a few more to come out, of some leaving it extremely late for their final runs. And Kubert is half a second up on his time, 33.3 so far, looking to break into the 31.8s. He is on a flying middle sector a moment ago. He's on a fairly decent second final sector here as well. how can he deal with these final few corners as we head towards the line. He's pedal to the metal at the minute and heading round the final corner. The last little kink in the circuit, and he's up into sixth. That is a very, very good time from the reserve Ferrari driver this qualifying. With a minute to go, we've got Clint at the minute at roughly the halfway point of the track so far. Has got a McLaren of McCoy ahead of him, getting a decent amount of tow, 3.5 tenths up. This could put him well into pole position, well into taking pole position. McCoy just moving out of the way may have helped Clint massively here. Jenson has just started his lap. We'll see how he goes in a second. He's a tenth and a half up at the minute. Clint is about to cross the line in the next couple of seconds. Here he goes. He will take... Oh, he's lost a bit of time in that final part of the lap. So he's taken second place at the moment on the grid. Clint having a tough time of that final part of the track. Jenson now in real contention for P1 here. He will have NASCAR aiming to take that, but he has backed out of this lap. Jenson looks to be on pole position for this Las Vegas Grand Prix. EA probably the only other driver that could potentially take it to him. He's down on his time though, so it looks to be Jenson for definite is on pole position for Las Vegas. It will be him in first place, Clint in second place, those two locking out the front row for this race. NASCAR looks to be in third. Fourth will more than likely be EA, depending on how Mike does across the line. Is unfortunately down on his time. We have got McCoy, or unfortunately invalidated. Will across the line. Can he help with make any damage? I know what I'm trying to think of. Damage limitation, that's the one. Has got 5 place grid penalty to his name, so we'll start in 14th on the grid for this race. And a very interesting qualifier there. Badger only just about setting a 116 for a 138 for this race. Unfortunate for him, a little bit of a tough qualifying there. Shifty in 15th place. Nice to see him back on the grid, even just as a one-off race in 15th place there. And probably going to be plenty of moves up and down the grid for what we will see, hopefully an interesting Grand Prix ahead of us. And did I actually just see that Will had 10 place grid penalty? He has indeed. That unfortunate. So NASCAR will drop down to 8th place. Will unfortunately drop to the back of the grid, and everyone moves up a few places for this race. So there we go then. We have got everyone sourcing their strategies and tyre choice setups out. tyre choices for this race, strategy choices for this race, probably a medium to hard or vice versa. Potentially going, if someone wants to be brave, that is, for the one stop. Most likely going for the two stop, a medium hard is likely to be the strategy that most people take around here. So as we just wait for everyone to get themselves sorted for this race, let's have a quick look at the standings for the drivers. So we've got Jensen in first place at the moment, followed by Edgar and Clint occupying the top three spots. A bit of a gap between Jensen and Edgar though, just under 30 points separating them. Championship still wide open between those two drivers, and all to play for over the next few rounds. Clint a little bit off, 30 points behind Edgar, still well in contention to try and take at least P2 in the standings. And then we have Oro, Alex, Ninja Exception, McCoy, Mike and EA rounding off your top 10, with Logan, Will, Adam, 7 Pizza, Mr. G, NASCAR, Jay, Ice and Badger rounding off the entire championship order there. So plenty to play for with the drivers towards the bottom. A load of potential moves up and down the standings as well. With just under half a season to go, we've got some exciting battles to come out of this season. Still, with the midfield battle looking extremely strong, we've got the championship fight looking very strong as well. We are about to get this formation lap underway in this race, for this race. So let's have a quick look at the constructors as they take their lap through Las Vegas. It will probably take a good couple of minutes. So Aston, a nice 34-point lead over Haas at the moment. Once again, they are looking for another solid season near the top of the standings. Red Bull in third place, Williams and Ferrari leading the midfield fight there. Technically we could say Red Bull are also in that fight for with those guys as well. They are quite a few points behind the top two at the minute. Sauber looking strong again, in 6th place. McLaren, Alpine, Mercedes and Racing Bulls all having some very mixed seasons currently. So let's get back over to the main race for this. So there we go. We just saw a quick glance of the strategy options. There is the one-stop option. There is also the two-stop option. I'll be back once the drivers are on the grid. Bear with me 2 moments. So here we go then, everyone lining up on the grid to get this race underway. In the next few moments we will see our red lights come up. So here we go then, 5 red lights and we are off. Righty ho, here we go, a slow start from Jay in the second half there. Jensen and Clint get away nicely. We've got a few, oh my days, we've got a bit of a moment towards the midfield there. A huge amount of cars going off with a few cars receiving penalties. I saw one with a 10-second penalty and a huge gap now between Edgar and Mike in 8th and 9th place, and a 10-second penalty for a few drivers in this race as Jensen gets overtaken round the inside from Clint, who's now up into first place, takes a slide on the exit of the corner there, and he's up into P1. Clint in P1, Jensen in P2, Exception aiming for P2 here. He's gone down the inside of Jensen, who's now lost out 2 positions, 3 positions has Jensen lost out now, and he's dropped from 1st to 5th in this opening lap. Exception up into 2nd, DA in 3rd, McLeod in 4th, and these top 5 drivers have given us a good little fight in this opening lap. And Jensen just getting back past his teammate, and EA has done a donut in the middle of the track and dropped to 9th place. Unfortunate for the Alpine driver. And that is a hell of a lot going on in this opening up. Let's have a little look further down the grid in a moment. We will have DRS between these 5 drivers in a second. That is extremely close from NASCAR on Jay, who's now up into 4th place for the Racing Bull driver. Jay with DRS, will he have enough pace to get past the RB car? Not this time around. We'll have another chance down the main straight when we get down there in a moment. So plenty of action in this opening couple of laps so far. We've got the 2 Ferraris in 8th and 9th just behind. We've got Adam in 10th, the 2 McLarens in 11th and 12th as well. McCoy trying to make the most out of not sure what happened there to Adam. That is unfortunate for him, so it gives the chance to the 2 McLarens down up into 10th and 11th and blasting their way down towards the end of the second DRS straight. And there we go, the 2 strategy options once again showing for us. It is a 1-stop or a 2-stop for this race. NASCAR and Jensen fighting out for the top 3 positions. They are extremely close at the minute, looking fairly good so far. Clint has a 3-second lead, and what a donut. And Jay just making the most out of the DRS advantage he's had there, and the ERS advantage that he would have had as well. Just a little bit more pace in that Haas over the Racing Bull. So, Exception jumping in to the pits, making an early stop this race. Gonna potentially What has he gone for? Sorry, it's his second stop this race. That is surprising. Oh dear, that's unfortunate. A bit of contact between NASCAR and Edgar. I think that move originally from Edgar though was extremely cheeky, just pushing the racing ball just back on, just pushing him off to the right a little bit to give himself a bit more space for the overtake there. Although looked risky, kind of paid off, was very, very cheeky of Edgar though, who's in 4th place, just ahead though, and they are closing bit by bit this rate onto these two at the minute as well. Jay and McLeod in 2nd and 3rd, 3.5 seconds behind the race leader at the minute. Jay will have DRS. Will it be enough to get past the Sauber? He is past and well and truly ahead as we head to the little chicanes here. So Jay up into 2nd, just putting a bit of a gap from McLeod at the minute, 7 tenths ahead. McLeod will have DRS to keep him in contention for P2 at the minute. Will it be enough to keep him within that distance to get him round to the next DRS zone? We'll find out. Will up into 7th place. McCoy just getting past as well. Colbert just having a bit of a unfortunate moment ago for him to have dropped a few positions there. So a lot of 10-second penalties in this race already handed out to multiple drivers. I believe a few of them could well be contested come the end of this race. That start did not help. A few drivers looked very, very manic between them all. A load of people have just disappeared. That's not good. Who else was it that went? Oh, it was Adam. That was the other one. He got back in though. So, Colbert, by the looks of it, has just made a pit stop there. Let's so plenty of stops already in this race. Let's see. So exceptions made to Pizza, Colbert, Badger and Jensen have all made 1 stop each. With 6 laps gone, they are some early stops, and probably gonna be another stop, at least for them. I don't see them taking their current tyres to the end, especially for Jensen, who's on 2.5 mediums. Kubert could potentially take the hards to the end. Badger could potentially also do that as well. Will be tough, but they could well box once again. NASCAR has had an unfortunate moment there as well. Will drop down a fair few positions. Jay still on the back of the Sauber at the minute as well, fighting hard to regain P2 once again this race. These two have had a fantastic battle so far. Haven't really been able to put away from each other and just had their own little race for these final two podium positions. And unless anything goes disastrous in their pit stops, I can see these two being stuck next to each other for the final 18 laps or so. So the Haas just getting past just up at turn 1, and a good move for Jay. Has a slide though through turn 2, and that is unfortunate. It's going to bring McLeod well into contention to retake this P2, but he stays ahead and McLeod stays in P3. It is going to be difficult for these two, and they are pretty level paced this whole race so far, and looked fairly strong fighting each other. A little moment for a Sauber there, and keeps it together, still half a second behind the Haas at the moment. No, what? How did that just start playing? Ridiculous. This has not gone well today. So, McLeod just going around the outside of Jay there, and it's good defending from the Haas driver who stays in P2. McLeod will get another chance at this, so will get the DRS potentially as we head round in towards the end of the first sector. He's just under half a second now through turn 1 and 2 we go, and he's ever so closer to the driver ahead of Jay. DRS open for McLeod. Will it be enough this time around? Unfortunately not, and as we see in the background as well, we have got a fight between Mike and Edgar, and again, like these two ahead, not quite enough not quite enough to be able to do anything to make a move, and they just sit in 4th and 5th once again for Edgar and Mike. McLeod and Jay still keeping it very, very close. We have got a few battles down the road as Badger has been lapped by Clint on this lap, and it is a tough race for a few of these drivers. It's been very, very difficult. The start has not helped, and we are about to see McLeod make that same attempted move once again round the other side of Jay, and it's once again defended from the Haas. Mike not trying the same move there, stays behind the Aston Martin of Edgar in 5th and 4th positions. McLeod once again just sitting behind the Haas driver at the minute, and it is a frustrating race for this Sauber driver at the moment. Not many battles going on throughout the field. There is only two main challenges going on. It's between Mike and Edgar at the minute. We are going to sit and watch that battle, and Edgar's just getting pushed around the corner, has a bit of a moment on the exit there, but keeps the car facing the right way, and Mike just stays in P5 at the moment. So Mike and Edgar once again are going to take this battle down towards the DRS zone, but Mike just has a moment on the exit of the corner, and that is that battle seemingly over. Once again, McLeod making a move round the outside of Jay, gets it done this time around and up into P2 for the Sauber driver. Now it is Jay's turn to fight back for second place once again. He is trying to get into the slipstream of McLeod. Is not able to keep within it this time. Stayed within the RSO of the Sauber ahead. He will get DRS this time around as well. Half a second behind. Will he have enough pace to get straight back past this time around? No, he's not able to, and stays in P3. Any other battles happening down the field at the minute? This for P. Oh, let's get that worked out. Logan was a little bit further closer than that as we went on board. Jay has dropped out of DRS detection on this lap so far. It's going to be tough now for him to get back in there. He's 1.2 seconds behind at the minute and seems to just be dropping further and further back. So a load of gaps opening up and down the grid. Plenty of drivers have made pit stops now as well. So let's see who hasn't made a stop. So the top four of Clint, McLeod, Jay and Edgar haven't made a stop. McCoy is yet to stop as we see McLeod darting into the pits. Clint has also jumped into the pits this lap. So Jay takes the provisional lead in this race till he boxes possibly within the next lap or so. Jenson now ahead of Clint after his early pit stop. He stopped 8 laps ago, so he's got a tough task ahead of him. Clint has jumped onto the hard tyres, so can now go to the end of the race. Jenson's potentially going to have to stop again. I can't remember what he started this race on, but it was an extremely early stop on that form for the Haas. Clint on fresh hards, McLeod on fresh hards as well, so they can go to the end. Kubert on 6 lap old hard tyres. Can he nurse these tyres to the end of that race? There is 14 laps to go, but he's got McCoy on fresh tyres as well, Mike on fresh tyres, Edgar on fresh tyres. It's going to be tough. He's going to have some quick cars behind him on much better tyres, so interesting to see how the rest of this race will unfold. We've got Mike now 3 tenths behind McCoy, aiming for P6. Can he get it done? Not this time around. McCoy just defends 6th place nicely there, and he will get another chance heading down towards the start finish line here. Will potentially get DRS as we head round the first couple of corners into the first DRS zone of the circuit. Here's the detection point coming up now, and he's 6 tenths behind the McLaren driver. And will he have the pace to get past? I don't think this is gonna be the time he does it. No, it's not. But we'll have another chance in half an lap or so. Let's see on board from Mike's point of view what McCoy is going to have ahead of him, and what Mike is going to see from this point of view here. So an interesting little battle between these three, and they've made contact. That is all 3 cars off the circuit, and that is unfortunate from McCoy, Mike and Cubair. That was a fantastic battle between, well, over that lap between the 3 of them. Edgar now jumps up into 5th place. That will drop McCoy probably even further down the grid. He did have what looked to be in the wall and potential wing damage for the McLaren there. Hard luck for all the drivers involved in that crash, but bit of hard racing, I guess, from the 3 of them. We jumped off board probably at the wrong time, but hey ho, as Mike trying to get past here, not quite quick enough for a pass. DRS not doing itself any justice. Here is NASCAR 2 tenths behind, much closer to the Ferrari of Will ahead. Would he be able to make the DRS make any difference this time around? No. He's dropped back a little bit. I think the dirt of the cars ahead is just playing havoc on some of the drivers at the minute. It is not being kind to any one of them. So, will we see Mike and Cubair try and overtake here? It's Mike on Kubert to start with? Will it be Mike trying to get past Edgar as well? Not quite at the minute. Jump back on board this fight between NASCAR and Will. A massive gap has opened up though between these two, and I don't think NASCAR's gonna have the pace or the DRS advantage to make a move here unless he goes for a huge lunge, which would be risky. He does play it safe and stays in 11th place for NASCAR at the minute. He is going to try and overtake. He hasn't quite got past this time, and round the outside of Will he goes. Is it gonna stick? Who will get DRS? Oh my days, there's a bit of contact between them, and playing a bit of pinball between the wall and each other's wheels there. NASCAR is ahead though, defending very well from the car behind, and it is probably gonna be a very good battle between these couple in a moment for the next couple of laps. So Will has seemed to drop back a little bit, jumping back on board these two. Mike now up into 5th place. We just caught the tail end of that move, and was that someone missing or a laps car? I'm not sure. Mike defending well from Edgar. Edgar not quite getting the pace this time around. We are lap 17 of 25 so far, with a slow car coming up. Not sure. It is Badger having an unfortunate time this race. Sat in 16th and have just tuffled over for the salvage driver there. Mike just pulling away though from Edgar here between 5th and 6th place at the minute. What can happen in this next half a lap? Can Edgar just get past Mike, or is Mike gonna stay ahead for another lap? It seems to be quite tough to overtake at times for a lot of these drivers. Only real time they've got past is if they've had enough battery to pretty much make it just outdo really the car ahead. Everyone has defended fairly well at times today though. They've done pretty well for giving us decent bits of racing action. We've got Kubert now as well, fighting with McCoy for 7th and 8th there. Kubert just ahead. McCoy will have DRS. Edgar also has it as well, not quite able to get past there. Neither is McCoy in the McLaren. It is still 7th and 8th for these two. Another tight battle on the track at the minute as well. So Edgar has had a moment and dropped off the back of Mike, so he's just got to try and not use too much time out and try and close the gap back up towards the Red Bull, but no doubt will give us a very interesting race for the end. It is also a virtual safety car, I believe. Yeah, there we go. Right in our face, flashing away as we wanted to know. So there we go, we have got back to green flag racing. So with 6.5 laps to go, anything is possible now in this race. The grid has opened back up quite a lot as well. Few drivers taking pit stops in while they could under that virtual safety car. Clint though still leading this race, followed by Jay McLeod and Jensen as your top four. Mike Edgar McCoy, EA, Kubert, NASCAR as your top 10. Logan just outside the points with Exception Will, Shifty, Pizza, Adam and Badger rounding off the current positions at the moment. Just trying to see where our closest fight is at the minute. So it does look to be between the Racing Bull of NASCAR and 11th place of Logan. 1.2 separates them at the minute. It is, yeah, definitely, well, it was our closest one. It is now these two here with EA and the Ferrari of Kubert. 7 tenths separates them. Kubert not quite getting DRS this time around, will stay with the rear wing closed for the minute. Oh my days, has he legit just pushed someone off track? I've heard a lock up, not sure how much that was meant, but it has got a 10-second penalty. What will happen between these two now though? With Kubert just locking up once again, them medium tyres are going to be absolutely ruined in the next lap or so if he carries these lockups up. Kubert and EA just switching places once again. EA back into 8th place, Kubert into 9th. 3 tenths separates them. This is gonna be some crazy battle. It seems to be a little bit heated between the two drivers, defending for their lives, attacking for their lives. With 4 laps to go for them, it will be extremely tight, and hopefully will go down to the wire on who gets 8th and who gets 9th in this race for these two. EA on much older tyres, so 10 lap old hards. Kubert on 2 lap old mediums. Anyone's to play for. Ooh, and fair play to the Ferrari driver for not losing too much time there. Keeps it semi-facing the right way, but out the wall most importantly. As we jump on board, Edgar passing Mike there for P5, and gaining a nice little position there. Made the move well within a decent range to claiming P5 within a decent time of being well ahead at the corner. Mike will have a chance to try and get back though. DRS will be available for the straight down into turn 3 or 4, I believe it is, can't remember exactly which. And not able to do too much this time around. We are on lap 22 now, 3 laps to go. This could be an interesting end for a few of these drivers. So Mike, aiming for the attack this time around, goes to the outside of Edgar and up into P5 he goes. We have got a yellow flag. It is looking like a Sauber on the mini-map once again. It is a tough race for that team today, or for half the side of the team today. So NASCAR, Edgar and Mike, sorry, once again going for yeah. Oh, get me off this camera angle. There we go. Right, so Edgar with 7 tenths behind, lap traffic to contend with at the minute. Will he be within DRS? It's a long way to the detection point now, with this DRS zone being much shorter than it was the previous couple of years. So, well within detection point there. Will get it this time around. Will it be enough to make a move? He's 3 tenths behind. It could well be. In to the inside for Edgar, not quite enough though. Nicks back in behind the Red Bull, and we'll try again in the next DRS zone we come up to. So a lap and a half to go. It is Clint leading us away still by 3.5 seconds. Jay in second place with the Sauber of McLeod on debut for the Sauber team in P3. A fantastic drive for them so far in this race, and potentially ending up on a podium with a lap to go. Where is Clint on this track at the minute? About to come up to start his final lap of the race for the Williams driver, and it's been a fairly simple one for the Williams. J in P2, and I've been a bit of a stressful start for him, that has recovered well. McLeod having we've already said it, a fantastic race so far, and up 2 positions from the start as well. So gaining places this race. Jensen in 4th at the minute, a tough race for the Haas driver. We've got Mike in 5th and Edgar in 6th. These two battling out still one for the best part of this race, and it's been a good battle as well for these two. McCoy in 7th, EA in 8th, Quebert in 9th, and NASCAR in 10th so far. Where is Clint? He is currently up to the main straight in a moment. Logan 11th, Exception 12th so far. Will having a tough race. Let's jump back on board the leader as he comes towards the final part of this race. He is 2.5 seconds ahead of the field and crossing the line to take the win. In this race, it is Clint in the Williams, Jay in 2nd place, gaining a decent chunk at the end there. Will be McLeod in 3rd, Jensen in 4th, Mike and Edgar fighting out to the end. Will Edgar be able to make a move? Cuts down to the inside. Late brakes, locks up, pushes Mike slightly off the track and into P5. That could be a risky move at the end. That looks very, very desperate. But it's a P5 for Edgar, 6th for Mike so far. A good battle between them two. McCoy in 7th. EA will come across the line in 8th place at the moment, with NASCAR and Quebert battling out to the line for 9th and 10th. They come, and a difficult race for a good few of these drivers today. Logan in 11th place, and Exception will be 12th. Shifty's come across the line in 14th, with Badger in 17th. A difficult race for a fair few guys today, but a good race on for a fair few others as well. Really, it is a through loop. It's an absolute nutcase. Oh dear, and Adam doing a yarn I want me and finishing in the pits. Okay then. So there we go. There is our winner of Clint holding the trophy on the top step for your Las Vegas Grand Prix. It has been a very strange one at the best of times. Jay in 2nd place with McLeod in 3rd, Jensen in 4th, Edgar in 5th, Mike in 6th, McCoy, Quebert, EA, NASCAR rounds off your top 10 with Logan, Exception, Will, Shifty, Pizza, Adam, Badger rounding off the rest of the grid. A fair few time penalties to contend with and a ton of pit stops this race as well. Plenty of track limits as well, plenty of incidents to look back on for a few drivers, and a ton of pit stops once again. So there is your Las Vegas Grand Prix. We will be back for the next race next week, which will be, let's get this up and have a little look. It is the only 8-shaped circuit on the calendar of Suzuka in Japan. It is a sprint week as well, so we look forward to seeing you all there. I am Barco, thank you all for watching, and goodbye. Have a very good evening.